What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind.
What is up, guys? Listen, let's just go ahead and get into this. I'm exhausted with this situation, and I know a lot of people probably are like me, where I haven't followed every single detail of this situation, but because I talked about it before, I wanted to kind of wrap it up and put it in a bowl. And I actually have some more content, not specifically about Tamar and Funky Dineva, but I had some stuff on the shelf that I just hadn't had the opportunity to get around to. But this has really been such a freaking roller coaster ride that I am ready to throw up because I feel like I was on one of those fast and high roller coasters where I was going on it with a full stomach and I need to throw up. It's something that just disgusts me on both sides. And I'm not even sitting here saying that I'm one of those people that was going up saying Funky Dineva had something to do with it because I did do previous commentary about it. But if anybody cares, which you probably don't, I'm sure he doesn't because he just believes that anyone that did commentary talking about the situation were pretty much saying that he had something to do with it. Now, there may have been people in my comment section that said that they felt like he had something to do with it. Those words never came out of my mouth. Neither did I insinuate it. But what I did say was the way he talked about her was it was not in a loving way if this is supposed to be your friend. And I did talk about the way that I feel like he talks about women and treats women. So like I said, I had some content that I just had to put up on the shelf that I hadn't had an opportunity to get around to yet, but I'm going to do my best to get that content completed because I, this is the reason why I want to do this. I'm going to play some of his response, which he's done more since this video aired, pretty much saying, all y'all internet sleuths, you owe me an apology, but I know you ain't going to give me one, and this and that and the other. But it goes deep and one of the main reasons why a lot of people who were of the thought that he had something to do with it was because of how he talks about women. And even in him talking about the situation, I don't care if Tamar was the one that brought it to the internet first, we know this, but it was how he talked about it. And the majority of the people that discussed it talked about his delivery. I don't care if that's how he always talks about people, because the thing that she put in that post was, I almost I almost lost my life. I'm not saying it verbatim, but you know what she wrote. And now we still don't know the full details. And I'm not sitting here being on her side either, because I actually had people that were like, you don't need to be diagnosing her and this and that. And I never diagnosed her. But what I said is she has an issue with when things happen that are pretty major in her life, how she's always coming to the internet talking about her mental health and she's on a mental health journey. And my question is she really on a mental health journey? Is she really getting help for her mental health? Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. The majority of the people who actually do truly have mental health illnesses and issues and conditions, the majority of them are not talking about their mental health. The majority of them are trying to act as if everything is normal. And if they have someone in their life that they can say, look, I'm your mirror, something is not right, something is going on, we need to get you some medical treatment, some medical help, some diagnoses, whatever, so that we can move forward, because it just doesn't seem like something is right. Most of the time when people have mental health issues, they're really trying to do the best that they can to operate as if nothing is wrong. They're not always talking about, oh, my mental health, my mental health. So for her to talk about this all the time, it's like, I don't really believe she's really gotten any true mental health help. I don't believe she has. And that's my personal opinion. And I have the right to feel how I feel, and that's how I feel. But let's just go ahead and get into what Funky Dineva had to say about this situation.
I want y'all to name a world, name a universe, name a planet where people start accusing you of doing something nefarious to somebody and you just sit back and you don't say anything. I want y'all to name a world where people accuse you of drugging somebody, doing something wrong to them. That faggot ain't nobody friend. That sissy punk ain't never been nobody friend. He hate black women. I know he did. Let's clear up something very quickly at the top of this video. There seems to be this misconception that
I'm sorry, I got to speed it up.
I ran to the internet, told what happened to this girl, and then all of this other stuff happened, and that is not the case. That is not how it happened, okay? For the record, so many of y'all out there are so committed to disliking me and only wanting to view me through the lens of being some messy punk that you can't see the forest for the goddamn trees. Tamar Braxton took to her social media first.
Pausing it for a moment, he said a lot of people just want to see him as a messy punk. Well, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on who you ask, that is how a lot of people see him because of how he has been messy. Absolutely. And a lot of the things that he has said and done. And there has definitely been a history there. So you can't take away the history of the messy things that he has done when you factor in, at the time at least, this situation. So he ain't got nobody to be mad at but himself when it comes to things like that. Because, yeah, a lot of people view him that way because of his own actions in the past, period.
And wrote, she almost died in a pool of blood and fell out and all of this different stuff. I found that out at the same time. Y'all found that out. Okay? It wasn't until I get ready to log on my show and I'm looking on the internet and everybody, oh, that junkie was with her last night. I know he did something. That's why you got to watch the friends you keep. He did. Somebody up there knows. At first, it was cute. It was just a few little comments. Big deal. I've weathered far worse storms. Then all of a sudden, it started growing legs. When I logged on to do my show, there was 7,000 people sitting in the hallway waiting. The entire chat said, Tamar, tell us what happened to Tamar. Tell us what you did to Tamar. Tamar, you know what we want to talk about. He want to talk about everything except Tamar. I wanted to avoid everything with Tamar because y'all kept hounding me. Tamar. My response was, I don't know what happened to the lady.
And again, if he had come out and said, look, guys, I know you probably have a lot of questions for me, and I'm questioning a lot of things as well because I really don't know. I know as much as you guys know, but look, that's my friend. I'm standing here in prayer, hoping that she's going to be okay. If I get any updates that I can share with you all, I will let you know in the future. But right now, that's all I can tell you. It was the way he talked about it. So if people already viewed him as, like he said, a messy punk, then you absolutely are going to have people that are going to be what he calls these internet sleuths to try to put the puzzle pieces together. And then when the picture comes together for them, it looks like this picture that you see on the screen right now, the messy punk that did something or had something to do with Tamar being injured, waking up in a pool of blood, and allegedly, almost losing her life. So again, it was how he brought it to the internet. It's how he talked about it. If he did not talk about it in the way that he did, I can guarantee you there would not be as many people that would be talking about this situation right now. They'd be talking about Tamar more than they would have been talking about him. The reason why it became more of people talking about him than it was people talking about Tamar, it was because of how he discussed it, period. He still will not make that make sense, but that's exactly why he's coming to let y'all all know y'all can kiss the crack of my black ass right now because now y'all know that Tamar is about these stunts and shows, and now I'm going to blast Tamar.
All I know is the lady called me and asked me for Dr. Heavenly phone number because she said 14 was missing. I don't know what happened to the lady. At the point in which I said, I don't know what happened to the lady, Tamar had already told far worse that she had woke up and almost was in a pool of blood and all this type of stuff. So y'all got it twisted, all right? So that was that. I'm thinking I'm clearing it up, all right? Now listen, maybe there's a world where I shouldn't have even said that. But there damn sure was not going to be a world where I was going to let the internet start crafting this narrative that I did something to this damn girl. Okay. So I'm in Miami, Tootsie rolling and having a good time. All of a sudden, stories start dropping. Funky not even trying to unalive Tamar. I send this to her. I send it to her. And I write, girl, this thing is starting to grow legs. And she writes back, I'm lost. I'm confused. I didn't say anything. I'm in the hospital. Now, what I can do with that? At the point in which somebody tells you they're in the hospital, you can't continue bothering them with petty internet drama. So when she hit me with the Uno reverse, I'm in the hospital, I just wrote back, you know what? Don't worry about it. Get well. I can weather this. I've weathered worse. The whole while, the whole TikTok, the whole YouTube, everybody is going, think pieces down to the ground. And let me explain to you why this moment right here is so necessary for me and so gratifying. In this particular moment, it actually has less to do about Tamar and more to do about all of y'all out there that dislike me so bad, and all of y'all out there who are so committed to this narrative of me being some type of messy punk, a messy sissy. Y'all have to eat crow like a motherfucker right now, and I am loving every minute of it. Oh, baby, you internet detectives knew all the ins and outs of everything, and y'all just knew what the hell was going on. And the whole time, baby, I was in my bed and somewhere in Miami. Y'all knew every damn thing. And the funny thing about it is, now that the shit's coming to the surface, you watch and see these same internet detectives, instead of just taking your L, or instead of just saying, you know what, dang, I was wrong. I don't even want you to say I'm sorry, because I know that that's too big for the level of emotional maturity many of y'all carry. I don't even want you to say I'm sorry.
Well, first and foremost, and like they say, a hit dog will holler. Well, ain't no dogs being hit over here, because if any of you have listened to my commentary, you know that I never said that he had something to do with it. I talked about his delivery, and I talked more about Tamar Braxton and how she has used her mental health in the past to talk about situations that she's going through in a way to kind of get people off her back, to say, I'm fragile. My mental health. I tried to take my own life multiple times, or at least once in the past, and I had to be hospitalized for that. I've been through a lot. Please, my mental health, my mental health. She wanted to use mental health as a smokescreen and a barrier, and also for the sympathy, for people to feel sorry for her. So I talked about her actually more than I talked about him. I honestly only talked about his delivery. But yeah, there definitely have been people that were talking about he had something to do with it. But also, and I will say this too, just simply because I did listen to some of the commentary that Tasha K did, and not really even so much commentary, but the internet post, and I think a little bit of commentary. She was talking about the way he treats women. And that, for most people, is what they're talking about. But because he wants to talk about people not having the emotional intelligence, what I will say is he reminds me a lot of Donald Trump in that way with the narcissism. He accuses people of things that he's guilty of. I don't believe he actually has the emotional intelligence and the wherewithal to consider and really take into account that he has done and said a lot of things in the past that has made a lot of people who already were viewing him this way say, yeah, this is the messy punk that I've always told you guys about. And I'm using his words. I'm not saying that's what he is. I'm using his words. So with that being said, I don't owe anybody an apology. I definitely don't owe him an apology, and I will not give one, but I have been big enough on this little small platform that I have right here in the past that if I was incorrect about something, I'm more than willing to admit that I was, because I am A and R. I analyze and I react. I am not some internet sleuth. I'm not Tisa Tells that's doing all these doing all these videos acting like I have all of this inside information and all of these sources and this and that and the other when it comes to these stories and these people. That ain't me. It isn't something that I ever wanted to be, and I just don't have that type of time or energy in my life to give to anything with regards to other people, because life is just simply too short. I commend anybody who does this for like literally their living, but I do this out of a hobby and enjoyment for me, because I talk about the stuff anyway in my everyday life when I'm working with clients. So it's like, why not just do it on YouTube? And that's why I'm doing it. But for him, if he feels gratification in the moment because people are now out here calling Tamar Braxton a stunt queen and a liar and all these other things, he's he can feel free to feel that way, but it doesn't stop people from feeling the way that they feel about him simply because of his own actions.
Is it too much to get you to just say damn? I mean, because y'all sat up and assassinated the shit out of my character over the weekend, when all in all, I'm just as clueless to the whole situation as y'all are. So over the weekend, after she said, I'm in the hospital, I said, you know what? Get well soon. I'm gonna do my best to enjoy Miami and going about my business.
And there you go, guys. That actually should have been what he did when people were asking about Tamar in the first effing place. He should have said, look, you guys know as much as I do, and I hope she gets better. I don't know any details, and so I'm praying for her. Let's all just come together and let's just send her positive thoughts and wish her well and pray for her. But the way he talked about it is the reason why he is here right now. But I'm going to tell you something, guys, because honestly, this is beneficial for him because look, I mean, this video, he's gotten how many views? Yeah. I think at the time when I saw it, it got over 170,000 views at the time, and it's going to continue to increase. So I'm not sitting here telling him sorry because this benefits him. It benefited him to be connected to Tamar for whatever reasons they were. I don't, like I said before, and I did say this, I don't believe that he's really her friend. And I feel that way. And I'm not saying that it doesn't go both ways because I don't believe she was really his friend and I don't believe he was really her friend. They both were using each other for whatever benefited them. It benefited each other for whatever the reasons were. So, with all of that being said, I don't know if this is the truth. Did they call a truce? I don't know, but I'm just going to share this with you guys and we shall see because I saw this post on Instagram. And I'm sorry, guys, I have to laugh at the picture, but hey, this is a picture he's used in his past, so people are going to use it. Was the Tasha K team being messy by using this image for this post? Absolutely. But hey, it's wine, gossip, and comedy. I'm laughing at it. It's funny. He chose to put this wig on and have his pink lipstick on with the mustache unshaved and the beard and the 5 o'clock shadow, all that showing. So if people want to pull that picture from the archives and use it, have at it because he's got it out there. He hasn't had the internet scrubbed, so whatever. But it says, after being accused of faking her recent accident, Tamar Braxton shut the rumors all the way down, saying she's hurt. Anyone would think she'd lie about something so serious. The situation had gotten messy after Funky Dineva called her out. But now, both say they're done with the drama. Tamar's focused on healing and her music, while Funky wished her well and cleared the air. Again, I don't know if that really happened. You guys let me know in the comments if that really is the case. And if I can, I'll probably try to go to his Instagram to see what's actually been said. But someone said here, he flipped so fast that I feel like he never considered her a friend. Wow. And I said that, guys, already. She didn't respond fast enough for Funky, so he proceeded to talk bleat about her and criticize her projects. With friends like this, who needs enemies? Somebody else said, if I were her, I'd remove him from my inner circle. Once you show me you're willing to out my business like that, I will never trust you again. He got mad at her for something people did on social media. Shaking my head. He just like them because you could have called her. Yeah, whole thing cap. Somebody said, why this pic, Tosh? Funky Dineva messed up when he said he went back to Tamar's house with her but didn't go in and went to his car. That's why people came up with theories. People seeing him at the club with her should have been enough information about him, but he messed up because he chose to say more, and he also had a smirk on his face when talking about her teeth missing and in blood. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was trying to make jokes and smirk, but as soon as everybody started blaming him, it was over 7,000 people. That's when he wanted Tamar to defend him. You tell her has no media or real internet training. I guess they meant you can tell. I don't know if they meant she or him, but this person wrote this. You can see it. Okay, you tell her has no media or real internet training because he should have never said nothing. Fake friend. That pic is nasty work. F Funky D. Now you want to add her name, but during the mess, you addressed her as that lady. Your fake funky tail self. Lord. Oh my God. Sometimes the comments just send me, guys. Listen, I don't know. I really am not sure what the whole deal and situation is, but honestly, the whole thing is messy. I am tired. I'm quite sure you are tired of it as well, but it's a lot. And these two, and then for the sake of her project, her visual project, what the hell is that? But, going back to a few posts, he did this post here, and this was done on what? Today's the 28th, so this was done yesterday. When I get through reading Tamar Braxton A down to the ground, I don't want to hear bleep. Here it is. I got ate up alive over my birthday weekend, and the whole while there was nothing wrong with Tamar's ass. Now she done released this tired A music video for this raggedy EP that don't nobody want, and because I'm in the video, people are going to think I was a part of the PR stunt. I was collateral damage in a two-bit PR stunt. At Tamar Braxton, you ain't even gonna try to clear any of this up and tell this people I didn't do anything to you. Now you know what happened. I was accused of not being a friend to you when at the end of the day, it was you not being a friend to me. I didn't deserve any of this, and I'm deeply hurt. So, yeah, so going back to that, and then he went live, and then this is a story that she posted. So that goes back to what Tasha K posted on her Instagram talking about them calling a truce. No matter what he says, I love at Miss Funky Dineva anyway. Had I known what was going on while I was in the hospital trying to recover, I would have said something. It's terrible that whatever I didn't say turned into all this. I just want peace. So they're friends again. Child, this is a freaking mess. I am so freaking tired of it. It really is messy. And so he posts this on his Instagram, her story, and then we go to what Tasha K posted on her Instagram talking about them calling a truce. And I'm like, child, I don't know. But again, like I said, this whole situation is tiring, but I'm going to stand on this. Funky Dineva really cannot blame anyone but himself when it comes to the theories and the perceptions. Now, if anyone just pretty much flat out came out and said that he actually did something to her or had something to do with it, then okay. If the proof comes out that he didn't have anything to do with it, he didn't do anything to her, then people should be big enough to, say, you know what, I was wrong about that. But based on what the things he put out there and things he said, it kind of seemed that way. But yeah, okay, if he didn't have anything to do with it, I'm big enough to say that I went there and I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But I definitely never said it. I really I'm not going to say I don't care about people's well-beings, but I really didn't even care so much about the story. I had people sharing it with me and I also didn't like how he talked about it. So that's what my focus was on how he talked about it, and the reason why we are here with what he calls so many people making think pieces about the situation is because of his history and how he's dealt with women. And even in this situation, how he dealt with Tamar Braxton. If that was really his friend, him coming out to say the way I'm about to read her ass down, I don't want to hear nothing, and this and that and the other. Okay, if you don't feel like this person was a friend, it just goes to show you that he's dangerous in terms of a so-called friendship because we've seen this in the past with his behavior. He could do something to someone that legitimately hurt them. Michelle ATL and Brown. Hate to keep bringing that up, but it is a situation, and he's the main proponent of telling people you can't do wrong to an MFer and then tell them how to feel about it. Tell them how to handle it. Tell them to just get over it. He is the main proponent of that unless it's about him. And that's being a hypocrite. So if If Michelle Atalian Brown is going to be heard about that situation to take it to her grave, that's on her. That's her prerogative. That's her decision. And if her way of dealing with it, and if her way of how she feels about it is when she does content talking about him using a gif of the crackhead that was on the Chappelle show and putting that, video up as if it's him and calling him a junkie and all that, that's her choice. She really was someone that was a friend to him, and a lot of people feel like he did her dirty. What I'm saying is he has a history of coming out to blast people when they come out to say things that he legitimately did to them, or it was like a situation where it was a celebrity or a reality personality where he's just dragging them. Okay, it's okay for him to do that because they're public figures, right? But he don't want nobody talking about him. So if something comes out about him, then he wants to come out and he wants to respond and roast and drag and all those other things. And it's just like it gets tiring. And I do believe, this is my personal opinion, I do believe that one of the main reasons why at first when it came to Tasha K was because he didn't want to talk about her in the beginning because he really did not want to become topics. He didn't want to be on that, that other side, like she had become on that other side. Her being a YouTube vlogger and having her platform doing vlogging and content and all of those things, he didn't want to become content. So he felt like, because I don't believe he is really a friend to these people that he claims that he's friends to, especially when it comes to the women. It's what's beneficial for him. So it's like if I can keep you on my good side, keep you in my good graces and I in yours, then we can just keep it funky in a good way. But I don't believe it's genuine. I don't. Because the way he could come out here and then blast Tamar, and Tamar didn't respond in kind to say, this junkie B, he did this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 and blast him and roast him. She was like, whatever he said and whatever he says about me, I still love Miss Funky Dineva. She didn't respond to him the way that he responded to her. She said she was in the hospital. I don't have any proof, and I'm not even trying to find any. I don't care until there's some proof that is submitted that says that she was not in the hospital. Because if that video or visual, because let's think about it, guys. And people are saying, well, they saw her in a restaurant 2 days after she posted that, whatever. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if she's saying that she was in the hospital when she posted that story, responding to Funky Dineva's videos and commentary and live shows talking about her and dragging her, and there's some people that were saying that she actually was in the hospital, I don't really know what to think. I'm not saying that either one of them are, I'm on either one of their sides, because like I said, I already talked about Tamar. I talked about the mental health stuff. I don't like how she's always coming to the internet bringing that stuff, and then she winds up being in some more mess. And then she's talking about, I'm on another mental health journey. Now I really understand how valuable and important life is. It's like, girl, you didn't learn that the first at least couple of times if you didn't get that the first time. And that's what I talked about more so than him in the first place. But with all of that being said, the whole situation is messy, and I am quite sure, like I am, you are tired. We are tired. This whole situation is tired. And I believe that music and that EP is tired. And I'm not Tamar Braxton's friend, so I could say that, okay? And it not matter to her. But the way Funky Dineva was talking about, ain't nobody want this music and this and that and the other, and that tired EP and child. Tamar, I would say if she is a Smollett, like people are calling her Tamar Smollett, like in terms of Jesse with the lies, then hey, we shall see. I don't know. But it is a lot to say that she almost lost her life. I hope and pray that it wasn't a lie. Again, I don't know. But if that whole thing was a stunt for her to promote her EP, I don't know. Maybe that video that she did and she released, maybe that was already scheduled and slated to be released. And that was to dispel the rumors about her and Mandisi allegedly cheating with each other. I don't know, guys. The whole thing is a hot, stinking, funky, no pun intended, mess. And I don't want no parts. I just wanted to come back and talk about it because simply I had already given a little bit of context and commentary to it before. And I wasn't on either one of their side. I never came on here and said that Funky Dineva had something to do with Tamar Braxton being injured and all the other stuff she claimed that, was going on at the time. All I did was talk about his delivery, and more people talked about that than him having something to do with it. But you notice he never discussed that. All he talked about was the internet sleuths that were trying to connect him to the alleged crime. But he never talked about his delivery. He gave a pass to that. And that is where the issue lies with a lot more people than it is with this alleged scheme that Tamar set up to come to us with the BS. Okay. So I really want to know what you guys think about it. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.